Diversity means black people at the bottom. Part 2. If you're not familiar with my content, I made a video, I say about maybe about a year and a half ago, when I spoke on the fact that diversity basically means black people at the bottom. And since we are at the bottom, common sense should tell us that when diversity becomes a thing, that we're still going to be at the bottom. See, what black people don't understand, diversity doesn't mean even. Let me repeat that to you again. Diversity doesn't mean even. It doesn't mean we're going to be on an even playing field, because we can't. Because there is a pecking order in America. From the white to the brown to the black. That is the pecking order. And that pecking order is not going to change. I don't care how many diversity programs you come up with. We're never going to be even. And that's what black people got to understand. Now, I understand that you want diversity, but at what cost? Now, if diversity means all people being treated equal, because I would hope that would be the ultimate goal, that we all be able to be treated equal. But that is impossible because there is a pecking order. And the pecking order says from the whitest to the brown to the black. From the whitest to the darkest. Okay? If you're brown, stick around, and if you're black, step back. That has always been the pecking order. So no matter how you look at it, diversity still means black people at the bottom. Because we will still be at the bottom of diversity because the pecking order is in full effect. This is why I tell black people all the time that this whole notion of delusional diversity is not going to do nothing for us. Black people is not going to be able to benefit off of diversity because of the pecking order. Because diversity can never bring us to where we want to be, and that's to be treated equal. Because if we're not going to get treated equal, then what is the use of participating in this whole diversity illusion? It doesn't even make sense. Because if we're going to involve ourselves into something as black people, you would think and hope that we will get some kind of benefits out of it. But there is no benefit for black people when it comes to diversity because of the American pecking order. Won't allow it to happen. This is why I don't spend my time on this whole theory of diversity. I'm also going to prove to you that diversity doesn't work for black people by one example. Harriet Tubman. Remember, Harriet Tubman was bringing slaves over here into the North, fleeing the slavery that was in the South. So it was this whole idea that if we got to the North, we'll have more freedom. We'll be able to obtain more things. We'll get further in life. But as you see in 2023, that did not happen. It would have been better for Harriet Tubman to leave black people in the South. Now, I know it was some terrible things going on, but we still would have been better off in the South. And the proof is the people that's in the South, and I know if you have any relatives that live in the South, and I'm pretty sure if you are black, you have some Southern connection or family that lives in Southern states. Now, one thing I notice is that my southern family is doing better than the family that's in the north. They have their own businesses, restaurants, they own their land and their houses. The majority of my family members that live in California are all renting or all barely making rent. So if this whole diversity thing really worked and this whole integration thing really worked, then California is a prime example of integration gone wrong. Because black people don't have businesses here. Just in my city alone, there's only about 2 black businesses out of 100,000. So if we was going to escape to the north, I hope it wasn't for that. And it is no secret that the black people in the South are doing 10 times better than the ones that are in the North. Matter of fact, there is a migration of black people leaving the North, going back to the South. Because a lot of us have come to realize that this whole diversity in this delusion of inclusion doesn't work for us. Matter of fact, I've been thinking about moving out of California myself and migrating back to the South. Because there's no opportunities given to us to get our own businesses out here. The banks out here in California discriminate against black people on a whole different level. They won't give you no business loans. They won't help you out. They won't do anything for you but deny you. There's more black people denied loans in the state of California because we have the most banks. And there is a high rate of black applications that are rejected in the state of California. Black people have no business here. There is not a big community of black businesses in California. These are just facts. But this is supposed to be the delusion of inclusion. This is supposed to be the place of diversity, the great melting pot. And this is what I tell black people all the time. I say, yeah, California is the melting pot. And guess what? Black people are melting away. Black people are melting away. Okay? So, for those that are trying to save themselves and not succumb to the damage of integration, we're moving back to the South. So that proves to me this whole theory, this whole delusion of inclusion, that it's better for us to be amongst others, is simply not true. And California was the testing grounds for that. California has brought me to the conclusion of the ultimate decision that diversity and delusions of inclusions are not profitable for black people. It is not profitable for black people, period. And the proof is in the pudding, just like you say. The proof is in the pudding. Look at the condition of the black family in the state of California, and that will tell you everything you need to know. And the state of California is the most diverse state in America. The most diverse state. If you're talking about diversity, then you're talking about California. And the African Americans are just simply not thriving here. We're not thriving at all. We're denied opportunity every day. Denial, denial, denial. Denial, denial, denial. We have been denied the opportunity to have businesses and to flourish. We've been denied that under the rainbow of diversity, under the rainbow of the delusion of inclusion. Because even in the state of California, everybody take care of their own. The Latinos, they hire all Latinos. They rent their houses to Latinos. Asians take care of Asians. They rent their houses out to Asians. They hire Asians at their Asian businesses, restaurants, and stores. The Arabs do the same thing. Because the delusion of inclusion is exactly what it is. Everybody is still taking care of their own culture. That is not diversity. Diversity is when you hire all kinds of people, and that's not happening here in the state of California. Every minority group is taking care of their own minority group. Even the minorities in the state of California are not hiring blacks. And these are just facts. And that's why I can easily dismantle this whole diversity thing that they keep on feeding us. And black people are blindly bumping into the wall and we're not getting nothing out of it. And I'm just tired of it. I think black people need to stop this diversity. We need to stop this delusion of inclusion. We need to stop it and stop acting like it is something that it's not. We need to stop acting like it's real. We need to even stop acting like it's even achievable. We need to give up on it. We need to get away from this diversity, brainwashing, and get back to being about our people. Be one first and take care of our own, because everybody else is taking care of theirs. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, and as always, one love.